tomorrow. So for once, even though we're recording late at night, I am okay with this because I don't have to work.
Are we going to be in the streets tonight?
No, I'm old. I'm tired. When I tell you, I've been in this 3-day brand camp teaching me all about my company's brand, where I learned...
Absolutely.
Well, no, I can't say I didn't learn anything. Okay. I learned a lot, but it was absolutely nothing useful.
Okay.
So it's like, thank you for taking 3 days of my life to teach me nothing. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot about coffee beans that come from Rwanda to help poor local Rwandan farmers.
Oh, I love that movie.
And there's... Right?
Isn't there a movie about, like, Hotel Rwanda? Well, remember that?
Okay, that is a movie, but that's not what that was about.
Okay.
There is a correlation in there deeper because it was in this 3-day trading, but I can't go down that rabbit hole right now. Like, when I tell you. Anytime I'm sitting around listening to a bunch of middle-aged white men with Rolexes and Audis talk about how they're helping the people in Rwanda by purchasing these coffee beans, I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my God. So I think we should say, cause we haven't been on the mic in a minute by the time people hear this. And it's not that we didn't record. I just think our last recording that we did wasn't up to par of what people would expect from us.
It was in shambles. If you guys saw the live, you know.
It was a little rough.
A little, to say the least. It's because we didn't have our fabulous producer here, Sam, to babysit my children.
No. And yeah, so we'll definitely have to obviously reschedule the Caroline, Alex, Steve, Marcus pod, which I think will be really good because we even got into some little juicy tidbits just talking then.
We did.
It was just so lost in like all the other things going on with everybody. So that will be a TBD coming. But besides that, how's your week been?
It's been a good week. I told you it was just that ridiculous training pretty much all week. So
what did you think about our little mini snowstorm we got?
When I tell you,
Alex just rolled his eyes so hard.
So I do not work. The corporate office for my company is located, I think, in Charlotte. So the owners and these training people are all from out of town. Mm-hmm. And then there are a couple of people, because they do have an executive office that I do not work in, that's in Atlanta. So there are all these people are coming down here to, the South Side, to this new location. And we're in this brand camp, like I told you, for 3 days. Day one is, I think, the day that the snowstorm happened. Yeah. So day one, at about 3 o'clock, after we've been in this thing since 8 a.m., it starts snowing, and then, it goes from bad to worse. And I'm like, well, thank God I live, literally 14 feet away. I can just walk home. So everybody else is, literally SOL, and, they are, sliding off the road and taking 2 to 4 hours to get home. And I'm like, well, I'm just right across the way. Now, what makes this terrible is, the training people that had come from out of town stayed in a hotel that was literally across the street from the office. Mm-hmm. So when I tell you, the next day when nobody else could make it back into the office, it was literally, all of these trainers.
And you.
And me. And I was like, oh, my God. Why do I live 14 steps away?
Oh, my God. You're automatically MVP.
So it was just so awkward. They were like, Alex, we're going to go through all these exercises with you. And everybody else was just on Zoom watching me do all the exercises. Oh, my God. And I was like, I don't know what I did to get so lucky in life. So, there's that. Sam, you can edit all of this out. Nobody cares.
No, it's so interesting. We love this part. My week has been pretty standard as well, I think. I feel like the snowstorm just happened inconveniently because, of course, it's just me here with the dogs. Luciano's not here. They were a lot. Chance hates the snow. Taco loves the snow. So then that was also a whole thing because Chance didn't poop for a day and a half, so I was worried. Yeah, so that was just a lot.
Complete sidebar, I'm hosting the Stockbridge Chamber of Commerce. Their monthly business meeting that has 60 to 80 people for the next 3 months in a row. Oh. And I have to cater it, so remind me about that.
Yeah. But yes, let's just dive right into some hot topics.
Hot topics.
Our favorite subject. So, we'll first start with this first hot topic, which says Trump canceled the inauguration outside of the Capitol building. He decided to move it inside where hundreds of people who had bought tickets could not see him to get sworn in for a second term. Multiple people commented that they had taken out second mortgages on their houses to attend the inauguration.
Why?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Good, and I hope you lose your home. You deserve to lose your home. If you were so stupid that you thought that you should take out a second mortgage or not pay your mortgage to pay for a ticket to go see Trump, you absolutely deserve to lose your home. Because that is the stupidest thing next to those people who didn't pay for rent and stuff to go watch Beyonce.
Yeah.
It's going to be on TV.
Literally, it was on TV. And it wasn't that exciting. It was like the shortest inauguration ever. It was so short.
And then Carrie Underwood performed?
Yeah.
And I hope she performed before he cheats again.
That was good, bitch. That was good. No, she performed America the Beautiful, but supposedly the sound mic went out, and she had to perform it a cappella. And
Did she eat that?
They caught a picture of Kamala rolling her eyes in the background when she didn't hit one of the notes.
Well, now, if you gonna sing a cappella, baby, you got to be ready to hit all the notes all the time.
So what they said, it's funny. It was like a little Twitter thing going around, but they said that supposedly a gay pulled the cord at the last minute and said, "Baby, can you eat this though?" And she didn't have her backing track, so
she just wasn't ready for it.
She wasn't ready.
Oh, that makes me sad.
So, but R.I.P. to all those people who took out a mortgage on their house to go see Trump get inaugurated. That was
wild.
Choices.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was.
That's like right up there with people who rush to go to work when they're late. Like, I don't get that. Bitch, I don't want to be here.
I'm already late.
I don't want to go. Mm-hmm. I'm already late, so why would I rush to hurry up and get to a place I don't even want to be at? Like, concepts that make no sense to me.
Same. And whenever I'm going to be late, too, I always stop and get Starbucks or Chick-fil-A or food because I'm already late. So I'm going to be late and hungry and tired.
And then you're going to say something about me already being late. So then I'm more than likely going to be irritated, too.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and eliminate all of
the
that.
Things. Yep.
And let's just, Trump, Carrie, thanks for your services.
All right. The next hot topic we can talk about is NECA from Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, announced she is pregnant with her first child. It was supposed to be twins. She unfortunately lost one of the embryos. So it's only one baby, but she announced, People Magazine did an exclusive. How do we feel about that?
People Magazine just clearly is not that exclusive. They just be letting anybody in it. I should know. They covered my engagement. I should know.
At the Cat Cafe?
Or was it Us Weekly, actually? I don't know. One of them covered my engagement. I don't remember. I've been on both, though, People and Us Weekly. So clearly they do just let anybody up there. It's a slow news week. I was going to say something shady and be like, I don't know her. However, so many people struggle with infertility, men and women, and I know how much it means to some people to have a child because it is a really beautiful thing. So I will just simply say congratulations to her. I know briefly on her time on TV, she did really express that they really wanted a child. So
she did.
I'm happy for her. I hope
I'm happy
that
for
she
her
has
too.
a happy, healthy, safe pregnancy. And I hope this is the first of many children that she was not expecting.
Now, I will say this. So you have NECA, who's now pregnant, Candace, who just had a baby. Is there a place for them in RHOP going forward?
I would rather you bring me NECA and Candace and get rid of no trash and no class. Because, Jacqueline and Mia, oh my God.
That's going to be a whole subject we're definitely have to get into because it is the Jacqueline and Mia show, and I don't understand how we got there. But we can put a pin in it because it's going to be a whole discussion. Okay,
Size.
It's going to be a whole discussion.
It is. We'll come back to that.
The next headline. So James Kennedy and Allie Luber from Vanderpump Rules have broken up after he was arrested for domestic violence in December.
But do we care?
I think if Vanderpump Rules was coming back in the same
care.
capacity with the same cast, we would care.
We do not care.
I think it's just the ship has sailed.
The ship has sailed.
Unfortunately.
We don't care.
And that's why Allie sailed.
Ooh.
She said...
Do you think that it was really like, the ain't no camera, ain't no Allie?
Of course. I think that a lot of times these reality stars don't understand people are in your corner around you for a reason, right?
And the reason's the camera.
And the reason's the camera. And then when the camera's not around, they don't want to be around you. And it clearly came out, right? So, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, wait, real quick, sidebar. Are you watching Traitors?
Love Traitors.
Okay, so we'll have to get into that. We'll have to dive into Traitors as well.
Oh my God, we gotta do a Traitors breakdown.
Love Traitors.
Yes, Traitors is really good. Honestly, that is a reality show I would love to go on.
I would love to do Traitors.
I would love to do Traitors. NBC, Peacock, if y'all hear this.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, we would be perfect. We would be perfect for Traitors. Could you imagine just... They would get rid of us first.
They would get rid of us first. Yeah, they would.
Chaos. They'd get rid of us first.
They would, but we would be so good. Because it's just a whole breakdown. Tom Sandoval sweating.
You have to be a certain type of deceitful, I think, human to be good at Traitors, much like Phaedra and myself. So I think it would happen.
Yeah, I could see that. No, I definitely agree. So let's move on to our second to last hot topic of the night. Former mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, said she wants to run for governor in the next race. How do you feel about that?
I feel like Keisha saying she wants to run for mayor is equivalent to Sheree saying she wants to win an Oscar back in like season 3 when she decided she was going to be an actress on The Real Housewives.
Oh my God.
Keisha Lance running to run for governor is similar to Kim Zolciak wanting to be a country singer or a pop star, whatever that was. Keisha Lance wanting to be the governor is about as successful as those sprinkle cookies by Melissa Gorga that was just a little too late.
Oh my God.
Keisha Lance running for mayor is about as welcomed as a public pap smear. Like, just nobody wants to... No, like, I don't think anybody was pleased with Keisha's politics in the city of Atlanta the first time around.
So hold on. So are you saying that you don't think Keisha as a mayor did a good job?
I didn't say that. I said people.
Well, what is your opinion on it?
Nothing Keisha did affected me in my tax bracket, so... Keisha was just kind of there.
I always said that she was up against COVID and a lot of different stipulations that happened.
And Keisha became the mayor when I was like, what, 20... It was
2018, right?
So I was like 22, 23 when Keisha Lance Bottoms. No, it was before 2018.
No, it's 2018. 2018 to 2022. And then, yeah, she did a four-year term, right? They do 4-year terms as mayor.
I don't think that's what they do as mayors. That's wrong.
You're
thinking about the president.
Pause. We're looking it up. Keisha Lance Bottoms was mayor from 2018 to 2022.
Okay, so when was her campaign? Because her campaign had to start at least in like
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was too. I was that age then. Y'all forget I'm so much younger than you all.
You can't give me that little bit. Give me that little bit. This is what Caroline go through.
Absolutely. Goddamn day.
Caroline, girl, I feel for you because he wouldn't even give me that little bone, girl. I said, "Damn, can I get one thing?"
If you want a bone, you got to take it out my back when I'm not looking.
But no, I don't say that Keisha would be the worst candidate for governor. I think that she dealt with a lot of, things going through the COVID period. So I would say I would like to hear what she has to say now moving forward, if she can move on past that and not, let that be her whole campaign. So
I feel like we've just had a lot of, God, this is probably going to sound so bad and maybe even get me canceled. But I just feel like we have had a lot of blacktivities in Atlanta. And not all in a positive space. I feel like there's just a lot of foolishness that has taken place because of us having
Kasim Reed.
these mayors that want to be more of a celebrity than a mayor. So
Of
you're
course.
aligning yourselves with the T.I.s and the 2 Chainz and the Candy Burris's and those people of Atlanta. And you're making yourself a celebrity more so than an actual politician and actually fixing things in the city.
I agree.
And I feel like Keisha would kind of go on to do the same thing, just on a larger scale. So outside of, I don't think that that's not who. I don't know that she would get my vote as governor. I don't think that Georgia needs to be any more liberal. Maybe it's getting too liberal. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know.
I don't think it's liberal enough. So I think that once you go outside of the city limits of Atlanta, that's when you actually see the old school 1960s Georgia. This
is true. This is true.
You know. So it's like sometimes we're in a bubble. Honestly, we are in a bubble where we live in our area because we're just so used to, seeing the freak flag fly, so to speak. The men walking in heels with the purse and, the everything. And just, we feel so comfortable in that space because we're used to it. But it's like you go to like these outside areas like Powder Springs
and it's like pulled together. It's buttoned up.
Lord, they looking at you like, baby, you wearing a faux fur.
And I want the rest of the city. I just want the city to kind of get buttoned up a little bit. But I don't know. That's what I said. And that's why I said maybe I'm just too old now.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 is no longer the place for the city's not the place for me. 30 with a family. If I was 30 and single, I'd probably still be right there in the city, being a hot
thotting and bottom.
Thotting and bumping. Because I often ask myself, if I ended up single again, would I become a new thought? Am I going to be like a new old thought? Like what I thought 2.0?
I don't see that happening for you. I feel like I see you and I'm putting a big if in this because we don't see it happening because Caroline don't play them games. But I see you as somebody who is going to move forward to another relationship and not be single for a long time.
Interesting.
Because you've done it already.
It's also scary is I always told Steve, for whatever reason, like back when we were like and like had been dating for a while, I had always jokingly said, I'm never gonna like marry you. You would never be like my first choice. If we ever got married, you'd be my second spouse. Like I would marry somebody else, get divorced, and then we'd end up probably married. Because I just feel like he's always just kind of been like the backup plan. Like he's never been like the real thing. Yeah. So I was like, there was one day I was like, oh my God, what if that did end up happening? Like how terrible.
I will say though, seeing Steve the other night when we hung out, and like I said, we'll obviously come back around and recap it when we do another episode with him and Caroline. He looked good. I feel like he was in good spirits. I feel like his mindset was good. I don't know. It was interesting. I wasn't like...
Do you know what's so interesting?
I missed him a little bit.
That's so funny because I felt like the exact opposite.
Did you?
And that's so weird for me.
Really?
I was like, oh my God, this guy is so unattractive. I can't believe I ever even thought he was.
Really?
I was like, oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. And I was like, I wouldn't say I was so embarrassed. That's not fair, the thing to say. I was just like, I used to just think you were just so attractive, and I was just so in love and so blinded by. And I'm like, now I don't see what I saw. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what it was.
Well, I think you were at an age, and he was at an age where you guys connected on that. And so I think now I see him as an older, version of himself that's a little more mature. So actually, I kind of like that more than I feel like the older version of him. But I think you only know him as the older version, and now that you're older and you're in a different space and he's in a different space, you're like, me now would never be attracted to that.
Yeah, no, it's just, and that's that.
But he did look good. He's a little thickums now.
He's a little thickums.
But he looked good, and it was good to see him, and I'm glad he was in good spirits, and he's definitely been on a great sobriety journey.
Yeah, that's the Steven
I know.
Wait, that's the Steven I know.
How cute. He looks so cute right there.
Doesn't he? It's
the
first picture we took.
Oh my God, shut up.
And it was his, oh my God. And I was in a relationship with somebody else, and that was my,
oh my God.
That was my ringtone, his picture that will pop up when he would call.
Oh, not you would put your cell phone blast.
No, I was in.
When they would call.
I was like, that's not me.
Did you see Sam? No, Sam got to see the picture, baby. It's giving it's giving Mariah Carey. Don't forget about us. No, baby, no, baby, no. No, that's
Anything, this
I love that.
podcast is going to give us a record deal.
No, everybody loves our sing-alongs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I know her. That was one of our 10 Lindsay's dates. We probably were drunk at 12 o'clock.
That was a reoccurring theme in my life.
That was.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
What's next?
So let's hop into this last hot topic, which is the Real Housewives of New York finale. I didn't think this deserved its own segment. This deserves a hot topic because, really, let's be honest, this season of New York has not been giving. We've clearly not talked about it. I don't think you and I have even watched past the first episode.
I stopped at episode 2.
I watched the first.
I think I got to 2 or 3.
I watched the first episode, and I think I watched part of the second one, and I just totally checked out. It just wasn't doing anything for me, and I was very upset because I think the first season or iteration of the newest season was good. I think they had a lot to work with, and I think they went into this next season like too self-aware of production and cameras and all that, and they weren't really giving us the real. And I think that's what you got in this season up until the finale, which is funny because then we got the real because they didn't know they were being filmed. So let me give you a brief recap on what happened on this finale. So Bryn, one of the cast members, is upset with Uba, another cast member, because she made innuendos that she slept her way to the top to get the job on RHONY.
Bryn insinuated that about Uba, or Uba insinuated that about Bryn?
Uba insinuated it about Bryn.
Okay, so Uba said Bryn slept her way to the top.
Yeah,
okay.
To get the job on RHONY.
And just for the record, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you do what you got to do. But Bryn obviously vehemently denied it. She then fires back at Uba, saying that she was sexually assaulted. And she's saying that she knew she was sexually assaulted. And she can't believe that she would say that against, quote, another black woman, end quote. Because Bryn is biracial, if you didn't know that.
I am aware that Bryn is biracial.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am very aware.
Okay.
So we're going to dive into this a couple of ways.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I think that instead of Bryn being cast on the show, they should have went and got Micah from Blood, Sweat, and Heels. Oh my God,
Blood, Sweat, and Heels. Such a good show.
Because Micah was racially ambiguous, but yes. I'm pretty sure it was episode 1 or 2 where she was like, people are always complimenting this ponytail. Girl, you had the same one from Chinatown right down the street. Yeah. And she's like, I'm black and white. Yeah. I feel like we didn't learn Bryn was biracial until halfway through the first season. So I feel like it was not something that you were hiding, but not something that...
It came out of convenience.
Absolutely. Yeah. So... I don't like you weaponizing your blackness, because that's whack. And then also, what does being sexually assaulted have to do with sleeping your way to the top? Yeah. Even if you were sexually assaulted, you can still sleep your way to the top. I mean, that's what happened. Your life was terrible. You were sexually assaulted. And you were like, you know what? I'm gonna put the pussy back, the pussy back in power, and I'm gonna use it to get everything that I want. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what you did, but I mean.
I don't think she did that either, but I do think it was convenient that Uba said that, and that was her first response back to it.
Yeah, it just seems like you were going for the victim role.
Very much so. So she says that she couldn't believe that Uba would say that against another black woman. They get into an argument, and production shuts down the filming for the day. Okay. They then go into their own separate rooms where Uba is kind of learned that Bryn has said these things about her and goes completely crazy because Bryn is saying that Uba knew that she was sexually assaulted and couldn't believe she said that on camera about her. Uba comes out of her room trying to get into a physical altercation with Bryn. Production breaks up the argument between them. Uba goes and stays at a hotel for the night, and when she comes back, production decides to end the trip early so that everybody can stay safe. The next time that Bryn and Uba see each other is 5 days later at the cast photo shoot, where pretty much Bryn has been ostracized from the rest of the group because they felt like Uba was telling the truth and they didn't feel like she knew about Bryn's quote-unquote sexual assault against her.
What made them believe Uba over Bryn? Was there something that was
Uba was just very convincing in her retelling of the story. You know, Bryn said that her and Uba had a conversation before BravoCon 2023 and that she told Uba all these things on the phone, and Uba said, had I known that, I would have never said that against her. I swear on Allah that that did not happen. And it was just something in her voice when you heard her retell her version of the story, it sounded way more believable. And then, of course, after the third telling of Bryn's side of the story, she then says, well, maybe Uba didn't understand the validity of what I was saying.
I would be probably more so inclined to believe Uba just because I know Uba and Chanel Ayan are cousins.
Yeah.
And coming from the Eastern African country that they come from and how genital mutilation is super prevalent.
Yes.
I can see she could have potentially gone through some of the same things maybe Ayan shared.
Yes.
That she went through.
Yes.
And even if Uba herself didn't experience that, I'm sure she's aware of other people.
Of course. Yes, definitely.
So I don't think that that's something that she would have weaponized against somebody
I don't think
she
so
would
either.
have had that trauma. But I don't know.
I mean, my opinion is I feel like Bryn was looking for a moment. I think that Bryn went into the second season of reality TV being like, I want to play up to be the superstar, right? We saw the first season. We knew that Jessel was one of the early fan favorites. We knew that obviously people were intrigued with Jenna. And I think that Bryn had some, interest there about her. And she wanted to play that up to see, okay, how can I get people more to talk about me this next season? And I think she played her cards wrong. Because I think it went somewhere dark and not somewhere that it should have gone.
Well, I think people always fail to realize that in reality TV, there's a fine line between what you share and what you don't share.
Yes.
And there are just certain things that aren't meant for the world to know. There's a level of, hey, we're just going to willingly not share this. Yeah, I might share that my spouse had an infidelity, but I might not share that it was with my cousin. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't know. I feel like what happened, I'm starting to become one of those people that's like, what happened to Shane? I'm not saying be shamed for anything you did, but at the same token,
hold a little bit back.
Just a smidgen. Hold a smidgen back.
Yes.
Give only what's relevant.
It's gotten
to the show.
It's gotten weird.
It has, because people no longer realize what's relevant to the show because you've seen so many things that is below the belt or off limits come on the show that everybody's always looking to top a moment instead of keeping things on topic with the show. Tell me about your business, how much money you make, let me see you spend something, and be light, fun, shady. I don't need you to be talking about sexual assault on the Real Housewives.
No.
And this is why RHONY got recast the first time.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to see the whole ebony and racism. It's like...
That's exactly what I just said. I said, you guys are trying to go for the same recast that they just did. We just did this. Because it didn't make sense. It got so dark and so weird. And so, we want the truth, but we want the truth as it relates to this show, not the truth as you want to try to paint the truth.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody is so secretive and so private as well, I feel like, on this new New York cast, that I don't think that I would get rid of everybody except for Jessel, Aaron, and you could probably keep Sai, and if you had Jenna, she could be a friend of capacity.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, you need to go and get some probably OGs back, honestly, because This is not.
It's not giving.
It's not giving.
No.
But I would like a mix of maybe some of the.
Do you
OG
think they're
stuff.
gonna do a big reboot for this next season?
A big reboot? No, I do. Yeah, no, a shake up, but not a whole reboot. I think we're gonna get some OGs though.
Kind of like an Atlanta style, like bring a couple back, bring some newbies, bring some like maybe past people.
I think you're gonna see potentially Uba, Bryn, and who else is on the show? There's somebody else. Rebecca
Raquel.
Minkoff and Raquel may be all gone.
You know what's interesting is I will say, so Raquel I don't think was the most activated housewife, but I think she had the most interesting storyline throughout the whole season from what I've seen. Mm-hmm. So I honestly would like to get to know her more, and I think her in another season of the show with some cast that is going to be like more activated will be good. Okay. I do think Jenna is just too reserved
for the
to
show.
Be on Real Housewives.
She could be a friend of, and that's about it. She could be a fabulous friend.
I don't know anything about Raquel. Rebecca. I don't know anything about her.
We don't want to see Rebecca.
I can see her at Nordstrom Rack.
Where she belongs.
Where she belongs.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think the only star quality there is honestly Aaron Jessel, and Sai.
Yeah. That's it. They're the ones that are giving it. Mm-hmm. I don't even think Bren and Uba are stars, which is so weird because they're both first seats at this reunion, and it doesn't make sense because it's only based on this last feud of the season.
But that's
so
what
it's
the whole
like,
season's been
what
based
happened
around.
to the other 14 episodes? Like, what were we doing?
Sleeping.
Clearly. I mean, you and I weren't watching.
Yeah.
Was anybody watching?
No.
Tap in if you're watching. Hold on. Do you hear something?
No.
Same.
So yeah, no, I think it's time for a shakeup. So I would keep who did I say? Sai, Jessel,
Aaron, and Jenna's a friend of.
And I would go and get.
But I would tell you, I would throw in Rebecca in the cast too. I would give her another season.
Okay.
Because we gave all them 2 seasons.
I would go and get. Who would I go and get? Luann for sure.
Of course.
Luann,
Sonia, and Ramona. That's your 3. That's all you need.
Probably.
And then Dorinda is another friend of. So you have Dorinda and Jenna as friends of. And then you have your 7-person cast.
I probably would have had to do Ramona as a friend of. Because Ramona's just so offensive.
But I don't think Ramona would become a friend of to the show. She's going to want to be all in or nothing.
Maybe, and it might be nothing.
Okay, and that's what I think. I don't think Ramona's ego is too big to be like,
I think Dorinda
could
do the same job that Ramona could do.
Of course.
So I would rather get.
And honestly, Dorinda probably would take a lower check.
So I would probably go Luann, Dorinda.
Is that bad?
I would go Luann, Dorinda, Sonia.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Season 16. Is that what it is?
I don't know what season.
Season 16. Technically.
I don't know.
Season 3 of the reboot, season 16 of, if you want to call it RHONY, which will be next year. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
But I hope a couple of them know they're about to lose their job.
Oh, they have to know. Mm-hmm. So, we are out of time on this episode to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Potomac, but baby... Stay tuned. We're going to follow that up right here on Cue the Chaos, where we're going to dive into some shit.
It's so chaotic.
So chaotic. Even more chaotic than when I had to drop off that dry cleaning the other day.
What happened then?
Honey, they lost it. They gave me somebody else dry cleaning, honey.
Did they give you something cute at least?
It wasn't. It was a little mini dress. That
Not a mini dress!
I tried it on. It didn't fit. I know. I'm sorry.
Was it at least a cute mini dress? Or was it like an Ashley Darby mini dress?
It was giving Ashley Darby. And the
so
TikTok,
it came from Forever 21.
And the TikToks. It's given not even that. It's given
Ashley Darby, can you please explain to us why all your clothes come from Forever 21? And I know you got to be making a 6-figure check by now.
It's given Fashion Nova. Not even that.
Don't do Fashion Nova now. Y'all know I be Fashion Nova dad. Y'all know I'm a Fashion Nova partner. Use code ALEX20 to get 20% off at your checkout on tracksuits.
I used that last time I got denied.
You probably spelled Alex wrong.
Is it BEYONCE?
Correct. Correct.
Well, y'all, until next time, Cue the chaos.
We're out.
Bye.